So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupad. This is Madhya-lila, chapter 15. The Lord accepts prashadam at the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Verse number 1. Sarvabhauma grihe bhunjan swani nindakam amogakam Angi kurvan srutam chakre gorasvam bhaktavatsyatam. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taking prashadam at the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Amogha criticized him. Still the Lord accepted Amogha, thereby showing how much he was obliged to his devotees. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktivinoda. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Sri Nityananda Prabhu, all glories to Sri Advaita Chandra, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Jaya Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Shrotagan Chaitanya Charitamrita Jara Pranadan. All glories to the listeners of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita who have accepted it as their life and soul. Emata Mahaprabhu Bhaktagan Sange Nilachale Rohi Kore Nritya Gita Range. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed at Jagannath Puri, he constantly enjoyed chanting and dancing with his devotees. Pratama Vasare Jagannath Darashan Nritya Gita Koridanda Paranamastavan. In the beginning of the day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the deity of Lord Jagannath in the temple. He offered him obeisances and prayers and danced and sang before him. Upalabhog lagile kore bahire vijay haridas mili aise apana niloy. After visiting the temple, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would remain outside during the Upalabhog offering. He would then go meet Haridas Thakur and return to his residence. At noon, when there was an Upalabhog offering in a place called Bogalavarda and Kanda, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go outside the temple. Before going outside, he used to stand near the Garuda Stamba column and offer his obeisances and prayers. Afterwards, the Lord would visit Siddhabakul, where Haridas Thakur lived. After visiting with Haridas Thakur, the Lord would return to his own place at the abode of Kashi Mishra. Garibase Kore Prabhu Nama Sankirtan Advaita Asiya Kore Prabhura Pujan. Standing in his room, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would chant on his own beads, and Advaita Prabhu would come there to worship the Lord. Sugandhi Salile Dena Padya Achaman Sarvange Lepaye Prabhur Sugandhi Chandan. While worshipping Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Advaitacharya would offer him scented water to wash his mouth and feet. Then Advaita would smear very fragrant sandalwood pulp on Mahaprabhu's body. Galib Mala Dena Matai Tulasi Manjari Jodahate Stuti Kore Pare Namaskori. Sri Advaita Prabhu would also place a flower garland around the Lord's neck and tulsi flowers, manjaris, on his head. Then, with folded hands, Advaitacharya would offer obeisances and prayers unto the Lord. Pajapatre Pushpa Tulasi Sesha Je Achila Se Sab Loya Prabhu Acharya Pujila. After being worshipped by Advaitacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would take the dish containing flowers and tulsi, and with whatever paraphernalia remained, worship Advaitacharya. Yosi Sosi Namostute E Matrapade Mukhabhadya Kore Prabhu Hasaya Acharjare. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would worship Advaitacharya by chanting the mantra, Yosi Sosi Namostute. Whatever you are, but I offer my respects unto you. In addition, the Lord would make some sounds within his mouth that would make Advaitacharya laugh. So, I believe Sagarmarsh used to know how to make those sounds with his mouth, like popping noise. Emata ajonje korana namaskar prabhureni mantrana kore acharya barbar. In this way, Advaitacharya and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would offer their respectful obeisances unto each other. Then Advaitacharya would extend an invitation to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again and again. Acharyara nimantrana ascharya katan bistare varni jachin dasha vrindavan. Indeed, Sri Advaitacharya's invitation is another wonderful story. It has been very vividly described by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Punarukti hoy taha nat koilun varnan arabhakta ganakore prabhure nimantran. Since Advaitacharya's invitation has been described by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, I shall not repeat the story, but I shall say that other devotees also extended invitations to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ek ek din, ek bhakta grihe mahotsava, Prabhu sange tahan bhojan kore bhakta sabha. Ek din, ek bhakta grihe mahotsav, Prabhu sange tahan bhojan kore bhakta sabha. Day after day, one devotee after another would invite Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the other devotees to lunch and would also hold a festival. Charimas Rohila Sabe Mahaprabhu Sange Jagannathara Nana Chatra Deke Maharange. All the devotees remained at Jagannath Puri for 4 continuous months during the Chaturmasya, and they observed all Lord Jagannath's festivals with great pleasure. Krishna Janma Chatra Dine Nanda Mahotsav Gopavesh Hoila Prabhu Loya Bhaktasab. The devotees celebrated the festival of Janmastami, Krishna's birthday, which is also called Nanda Mahotsav, the festival of Nanda Maharaj. At that time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees dressed themselves as cowherd boys. Dari Dugda Bar Save Nijaskande Kori Mahotsavastane Aila Bole Hari Hari. Having dressed up like cowherd boys, all the devotees carried pots of milk and yogurt balanced on rods over their shoulders. Thus they all arrived at the festival grounds, chanting the holy name of Hari. So the rod would be like a long piece of bamboo, and on each end of it would be hanging a pot with milk on one end and yogurt on the other, like that. Kanai Kutiya Achen Nanda Beshdwari Jagannath Mahati Ayachen Brajeshwari. Kanai Kutiya dressed himself like Nanda Maharaj, and Jagannath Mahiti dressed himself as Mother Yashoda. Apane Prataparudra Aramishakashi Sarvabhauma Ara Paricha Putra Tulasi. At that time, King Prataparudra was also personally present with Kashi Mishra, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and Tulasi Padicha Patra. So they're the persons from the temple. The king is in charge of the head of the temple, being the king, and Kashi Mishra, Sarvabhauma, and Tulsi Padicha Patra, they all are administrators with the temple. Iha Saba Loya Prabhu Kore Nritya Ranga Dari Dugda Haridra Jale Bare Sabar Anga. As usual, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced jubilantly. Everyone was covered with milk, yogurt, and yellow turmeric water. Advaita kohe satya kohe na koriya gop laguda firaite para tabe jane gop. At this time, Srila Bhattacharya said, "Please do not be angry. I speak the truth. I shall know that you are a cowherd boy only if you can wheel this rod about." So this rod wheeling, and you can see by the description, it's very much like, what baton majorettes do during the time of, January 1st, New Year's Day parades, and they're twirling the batons in the air and throwing them in the air and catching them while they're still spinning and everything. So the description reminds me of that very much. At this time, Srila Bhattacharya said, "Please do not be angry, I speak the truth. I shall know that you are a cowherd boy only if you can wheel this rod about. Tabe laguda loya prabhu firaite lagila barbar akashe feli lufia darila." Accepting Advaita Acharya's challenge, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took a big rod and began to wheel it around and around. Again and again he threw the rod into the sky and caught it when it fell. Shirira upare prishte samuke duipashe pada madhye firai laguda deki lokahase. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wheeled and threw the rod, sometimes over his head, sometimes behind his back, sometimes in front of him, sometimes to his side, and sometimes between his legs. All the people laughed to see this. So that's what they do. They spin rods, and sometimes behind their back, and sometimes between their legs, and they throw them in the air and catch them while they're landing, and they're still spinning. Well, that's what it reminds me. Alanta chakrera prai laguda firai deki sarva loka chitte chamatkara pai. People in India, also martial arts people, they still know how to spin. They have wood like canes that they use for fighting, and they can also spin them around like the same thing. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu whirled the rod in a circle like a firebrand, the heart of everyone who saw it was astonished. So when that rod is being wheeled around so fast, it looks like you can't see where the rod is, just like on a propeller. You can't see. It looks like a firebrand. It looks like a circle of fire. Emata Nityananda Firai Laguda Ebuji Betaha Duharakopa Baba Guda. Nityananda Prabhu also played at whirling the rod. Who can understand how they were ecstatically immersed in the deep emotions of the cowherd boys? Also, one of these rainbow festivals, I saw a lady spinning around a burning stick was burning, and she is spinning it.
Yeah. Ranjan's daughter does that. She's really good at it.
Pratraparudra agyaya parichatulasi jagannatera prasadabhastra ekloya ashi. Following the orders of Maharaj Pratraparudra, the temple superintendent named Tulasi brought one of Lord Jagannath's used cloths. So this is that one of the persons there with them. This is Tulasi Padicapatra, and that he's the temple superintendent. And he brought one of the deities' used outfits. Bahu Mulya Bastra Prabhu Mastake Bandila Acharjadi Prabhur Ganeri Paraila. The valuable cloth was wrapped around the head of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the other devotees, headed by Advaitacharya, also had cloths wrapped around their heads. That's something I also saw in Veracruz. The deities of Mahaprabhu and Krishna that was in Veracruz. The deities are named Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Nanda Nandana Ju. So that's Govinda Nanda Nandana. And Mahaprabhu, they often wear turbans wrapped around their head. So, this valuable cloth was wrapped around the head of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The other devotees headed by Advaitacharya also had cloths wrapped about their heads. So that was the deity's prashadam. Kanai Kutiya Jagannath Duijan Aveshe Vilai Lagare Chila Jatadan. In ecstasy, Kanai Kutiya, who was dressed as Nanda Maharaj, and Jagannath Mahiti, who was dressed as Mother Yashoda, distributed all the riches that they had stocked at home. So they're playing Jagannath and, this is the birth of Krishna that they're reenacting. So they're playing Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, and both of them, they're so pious. They're giving away their own personal wealth, just like as if they were Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. Deki Mahaprabhu Bora Santosha Paila Mata Pita Gyani Duhe Namaskara Koila, because that's what Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda did when Krishna appeared. They gave away to the Brahmins and everyone whatever wealth they had. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was greatly satisfied to see this, accepting them as his father and mother. He offered them obeisances. Parama Veshe Prabhu Aila Ninchagar Madhya-lila Kore Gauranga Sundar. In great ecstasy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to his residence. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, known as Gauranga Sundar, performed various pastimes. Nice name, Gauranga Sundar. Vijay Dashami Lanka Vijayara Dine Banara Shainya Koila Prabhu Loya Bhaktagane. On the day celebrating the conquest of Lanka, a day known as Vijay Dashami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dressed up all his devotees as monkey soldiers. That was just recently, Vijay Dashami. Hanuman Maveshi Prabhu Brikka Sakka, because Vijay Dashami is the victory in Lanka. And then the next festival after that, if it's coming up now, is the festival of Ramachandra's return to Ayodhya, and that's the big festival in northern India. What is it called? The biggest festival going through Delhi in the streets and everything. It's the time of the festival of lights and everything that's going on. That's Diwali. That's the name of the festival. And at the same time in Bengal, Kali Puja is going on. So on the day celebrating the conquest of Lanka, which was just recently, a day known as Vijay Dashami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dressed up all his devotees as monkey soldiers. Hanumana Veshe Prabhu Brikka Sakaloya Lanka Gade Chade Fede Gara Bangiya. Displaying the emotions of Hanuman, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took up a large tree branch and, mounting the walls of the Lanka fort, began to dismantle it. Kahange Ravna Prabhu Kohe Krodabeshe Jaganmata Hare Papi Marimu Savamshe In the ecstasy of Hanuman, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu angrily said, "Where is that rascal Ravana? He has kidnapped the universal mother, Sita. Now I shall kill him and all his family." Gosaira Veshadeki Loka Chamatkar Sarva Loka Jai Jai Bole Bar Bar. Everyone became very astonished to see the emotional ecstasy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and everyone began to chant, Jai, Jai, all glories, again and again. Emata Rasa Jatra Ara Deepavali Uttama Twadasi Jatra Dekila Sakali. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees participated in all the festivals, including Rasa Yatra, Deepavali, and Uttamadwarashi. The Deepavali festival takes place on the dark moon night in the month of Kartik, October, November. The Rasa Yatra, or Rasa dancing of Krishna, takes place on the full moon night of the same month. Uttamadwarashi takes place the day after Ekadasi in the waxing fortnight of the month in the same month. So waxing fortnight. First, the month begins on Purnima. So the first 15 days are the waning fortnight because it's going from full moon to no moon. So the moon's getting smaller. And the waxing fortnight is after Amavasya going to Purnima. So the waxing fortnight means the day after Ekadasi, 3 or 4 days before Purnima. All the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu participated in all these festivals. Ekdin Mahaprabhu Nityananda Loya, Duibai Jukti Goila, Nibriti Basiya. One day the two brothers, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, consulted with each other while sitting together in a solitary place. Kiba Jukti Koila Duhe De Kehon Nahi Jane Vale Anuman Pache Koila Bhakta Gane. No one could understand what the brothers discussed between themselves, but later all the devotees could guess what the subject matter was. So Nityananda Prabhu is of course non-different from Balaram. So Krishna's pastimes with Radharani are not always completely compatible with having his elder brother around. I mean, still in many countries of the world, the elder brother goes with his sister as a chaperone on dates to make sure that nothing goes on. Got to keep an eye on the girl so that nobody will take advantage of her. So, elder brothers are inhibitors of activities between boys and girls. Elder brother will inhibit that. So, naturally, between Krishna and Radharani, his elder brother, having him around, will not encourage their pastimes. So then Mahaprabhu will want that eventually Nityananda Prabhu will go back to Bengal so as not to interfere with his pastimes. And I heard, I don't know if it was Prabhupada or Govinda Maharaj, say that after a man and a woman get married, they go to live in the house of the parents of the groom, not the parents of the bridegroom, but the parents of the groom. They're living in there, and then in that house is the father and brothers and all that. And I was told that the elder brothers, in particular, would wear wooden shoes, so that the person's wife, bride or wife, they're married, so wife, they could hear the elder brother coming because he's wearing wood shoes. And when the wife would hear that, she would cover her head with her sari. So they wore those wooden shoes just to announce they're coming. So one day the two brothers, Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, consulted with each other while sitting in a solitary place. Kiva jukti koila duhe ke honahi jane fale anuman pache koila bhakta gane. No one could understand what the brothers discussed between themselves, but later all the devotees could guess what the subject matter was, because Nityananda Prabhu went back to Bengal. Tabe Mahaprabhu sab bhakte bolaila goradeshe jaha sabe vidai korila. Mahaprabhu told him, one of us has to be in Bengal. One of us has to be in Bengal, so you should go back there and preach to the people at Bengal. And it said as a result of that, Nityananda Prabhu is more famous in Bengal than Mahaprabhu is. Reminds me of a conversation I had once with Tamal Krishna. You could say how this from that conversation you could understand something of maybe what the conversation between Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu is. Tamal Krishna says, there's only two persons I would trust doing this service, yourself and myself, and I'm busy right now. That was a nice way of telling me you're going to do this. Tabe Mahaprabhu sab bhakte bolaila godadeshe jaha sabe vidai karila. It's a very diplomatic way of saying it. Thereafter, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called for all the devotees and asked them to return to Bengal. In this way, he bade farewell to them. Sabare kohila Prabhu pratyabda asya gundicha dekiya jabe amare miliya. Bidding farewell to all the devotees, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requested them to return to Jagannath Puri every year to see him, and then see the cleansing of the Gundicha temple. So they would come to see Mahaprabhu at the beginning of the Chaturmasya and stay for 4 months. So they would come in time to participate in the cleansing of the Gundicha Mandir. Acharjare Agyadila Korea Saman Achandala Adi Krishna Bhakti Diodan. With great respect, Mahaprabhu requested Advaitacharya, give Krishna consciousness, devotion to Krishna, even to the lowest of men, Chandalas. Nityananda Agyadila Jaha Gauradeshe Anargala Prema Bhakti Korea Prakashe. Mahaprabhu ordered Nityananda Prabhu, go to Bengal and without restriction manifest devotional service to the Lord, Krishna consciousness. Ramadas Gadadhar Adi. Okay. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thus ordered Nityananda Prabhu to deliver all the Bengalis to devotional service. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Mami Partha Vyapasritya Yepishu Papayonaya Striyo Vaishyas Tata Shudras Tepi Yanti Paramgatim. O son of Prita, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, and Shudras, workers, can attain the supreme destination. Whoever takes to Krishna consciousness and follows the regulative principles can return home back to God. In his Anubhashya, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur writes, there is a class of so-called devotees called Prakrita Sahajas who think that Nityananda Prabhu is an ordinary human being. They have spread the news that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Nityananda Prabhu to return to Bengal from Orissa just to marry and beget children. This is certainly a great offense against Nityananda Prabhu. Such an offense is called Pashandi Buddhi, or an atheistic remark. Offenders consider Nityananda Prabhu to be like one of them, an ordinary human being. They do not know of Nityananda Prabhu's identity with the Vishnu Tattva. Thinking Nityananda Prabhu to be an ordinary human being is the business of mental speculators known as Kanapatma bodies. These people accept the material body, which is a bag of three material elements, kunape tritaduke, as themselves. They think that Nityananda Prabhu's body was similarly material and that it was meant for sense gratification. Whoever thinks in this way is a candidate for the darkest regions of hell. Those who hanker after women and money, who are self-interested and have the mentality of merchants, can certainly discover many things with their fertile brains and speak against the authorized revealed scriptures. They also engage in some money-making businesses to cheat innocent people when they try to support their business programs by making such offensive statements. Actually, Nityananda Prabhu, being the expansion of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is the most munificent incarnation. No one should consider him an ordinary human being or an entity like the Prajapatis who were ordered by Brahma to increase generations. Nityananda Prabhu should not be considered instrumental for sense gratification. Although professional so-called preachers support this idea, such statements are not found in any authorized revealed scriptures. Actually, there is no support for these statements made by sahajiyas or other professional distributors of Krishna Bhakti. Ramadas Gadadhar Adi Kattajane Tomara Sahaya Di Lagi Di Tomarasane. Nityananda Prabhu was given assistants like Ramadas, Gadadhar Das, and several others. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I give them to you to assist you. So this is Gadadhar Das. This is not Gadadhar Pandit. Madhye Madhye Ami Tomar Nikata Jaiba Alakite Rohit Tomar Nritya Dekila Nritya Dekiba. I shall also go to see you at intervals, keeping myself invisible. I shall watch you dance. Srivas Pandite Prabhu Koryalingan Kante Dore Kohetare Madhura Bachan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then embraced Srivas Pandit and with his arms about his neck began to speak to him in sweet words. Tomaragare Kirtane Ami Nitya Nachiba Tumideka Pabe Ara Kehuna Dekiba. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu requested Srivas Thakur perform congregational chanting daily, do kirtan daily, perform congregational chanting daily, and be assured that I shall also dance in your presence. You will be able to see this dancing, but not others. Evastramatake diha esa prashad dandavat koryamar kamaya aparad evastra matake diha esa prashad dandavat koryamar kamaya aparad. Take the prashadam of Lord Jagannath in this cloth and deliver them to my mother, Sachi Devi. After offering her obeisances, please request her to excuse my offenses. Tara Seva Chadi Ami Koriyache Sanyas Dharmanahe Koriyami Nija Dharmanash. I have given up the service of my mother and have accepted the sannyas order. Actually, I should not have done this, for by so doing I have destroyed my religious principles. Tara Premavasa Ami Tara Seva Dharma Tahachari Koriyache Vatulera Karma. I am subordinate to the love of my mother, and it is my duty to serve her in return. Instead of doing so, I have accepted the renounced order. Certainly this is the act of a madman. Batula Balakara Mata Nahiloya Dosha Ejani Mata Mari Na Koraya Rosha. A mother is not offended by her mad son, And knowing this, my mother is not offended by me. So I'm sure also I'm not to be compared with Mahaprabhu, but I'm sure my mother understood I was mad. And so she was not bothered by me taking sannyas. She would tell her friends, oh, my son's a guru. A mother is not offended by her mad son, and knowing this, my mother is not offended by me. Kikaya sannyase mora prema nijadan, jekale sannyas koilun chana hoilaman. I had no business in accepting the renounced order and sacrificing my love for my mother, which is my real property. Actually, I was in a crazy state of mind when I accepted sannyas. Nilachale achon mui tahara agyate madye madye ashimu tara sharanadakite. I am staying here at Jagannath Puri, Nilachala, to comply with her orders. But at intervals, I go to see her lotus feet. Nitya jayadeki mui tahara charane swartigyane teho taha satya nahimane. Indeed, I go there daily to see her lotus feet. She is able to feel my presence, although she does not believe it to be true. Ekdin salyana yanjana panchashat shaka mocha ganta brishta pato nimbapat lembu ara kanda dadi dugda kandasar shalagrame samar pilen Bahu Upahar. Dandavad, how are you?
I'm okay.
I'm good. One day my mother Sachi offered food to Shalram Vishnu. She offered rice cooked from shati paddies. That means from shati paddies means like what we would call organic brown rice. One day my mother, Sachi, offered food to Shalagram Vishnu. She offered rice cooked from shali paddies, various kinds of vegetables, spinach, curry made of banana flowers, fried portal with neem leaves, pieces of ginger with lemon, and also yogurt, milk, sugar candy, and many other foods. Yogurt, milk, sugar candy means, like raw crystallized sugar. Prashad loya kole korana krandan nimaira priya mora esab janjan. Taking the food upon her lap, mother was crying to think that all that food was very dear to her Nimai. Nimai nahika eta ke kore bochan morab jani ashru jale marilanayan. My mother was thinking, Nimai is not here. Who will accept all this food? As she meditated upon me in this way, her eyes filled with tears. Shigrajai mui sab korimu brakan. Shigrajai mui sab korimu bakan. Shunya patra deki ashru korea marjan. While she was thus thinking and crying, I immediately went there with great haste and ate everything. Seeing the dish empty, she wiped away her tears. Ke anavyanjana koila shunya kenipat balagopal kiba kaiba sababat. She then began to wonder who had eaten all the food. Why is the plate empty, she wondered, doubting that Bal Gopal had eaten it all. So she's thinking, who's eaten the food? Mahaprabhu had gone there quickly and eaten it. But she's thinking, well, how could all the food get eaten? She's worshipping Bal Gopal, and she's thinking, Bal Gopal is just a baby. He couldn't have eaten everything. So who ate all the food? She knows, but she doesn't, she won't admit it. Kiba mora katai mane brahma kayagela kiba kon jantuashi sakala kaila. She began to wonder whether there had actually been anything on the plate in the first place. Then again, She thought that some animal might have come and eaten everything. Kiva ami anapatre brahme na badila etachinti patra jana dekila. She thought, perhaps by mistake I did not put any food on the plate. So thinking, she went into the kitchen and saw the pots. Anavyansana purnadeki sakala bhajane dekiya samshaya kaila kichu chamatkaramane. When she saw that all the pots were still filled with rice and vegetables, there was some doubt in her mind, and she was astonished. Ishane bolaya punastana lepaila punarapi gopalake ana samarpila. Thus wondering, she called Ishan, the servant, and had the plate and had the place cleansed again. She then offered another plate to Gopal. Emata chabe korana uttama randan morekao chaite kore utkantaya rodan. Now, whenever she prepares some good cooked food and wants to feed it to me, she cries in great anxiety. Tara preme ani amai koraya bojane antare manaye sukha baye nahi mane. Being obliged by her love, I am brought there to eat. Mother knows all these things internally and feels happiness, but externally she does not accept them. Evichayda shamite hoila eriti tahake puchiyatara koraya pratiti. Such an incident took place on the last Vijay Dashami day. You can ask her about this incident and thus make her believe that I actually go there. Etika kahite prabhu but vivala hoila loka vidai korite prabhu darya darila. While describing all this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became a little overwhelmed, but just to finish bidding farewell to the devotees, he remained patient. So I'm going to stop here at this point, and our next reading will continue. Now tomorrow is Saturday, so I don't know if we'll do the next reading tomorrow. We'll try, but tomorrow is a Spanish darshan Zoom meeting. So whether Madhav. I don't know whether you or what?
Oh, for Boga?
For the Boga.
Yeah, I'll be going. I'll meet him there if he's there. Otherwise.
Okay, great. Whether, what's his name? Whether
Krishna Dayal.
Krishna Dayal.
Yes, we're all looking for him.
Yeah.
Welcome home.
Yeah. At when I went to Trader Joe's once, I was there, and of course, Krishna Dayal works there.
Yeah, on the
Trader
41st
Joe's.
Avenue one.
Yeah, I said to them, a friend of mine works here, and they said, oh, what's his name? But I know him as Krishna Dayal, but they know him as by
Modoff or something like that.
no, not Mod.
How do you say it?
They know him as a different name. So, but I didn't remember that name. So I said, my friend works there, and so what's his name? And I said, oh, some crazy Iranian, and they immediately knew who it was.
Let's call him a
And they said his name, but I just know him by his devotional name. Krishna Dayal. I don't know him. Okay. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Charavaya Nama Hari Haraya Krishna Charavaya Nama Charavaya Maravaya Keshavaya Nama Charavaya Maravaya Keshavaya Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudam Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudam Giridhari Gopinatha Marana Mohan Giridhari Gopinatha Marana Mohan Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Janardan Shiva Sari Gora Bhakta Vrinda Janardan Shiva Sari Gora Bhakta Vrinda Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raguna Jai Rupa Sanatan Raguna Shri Jiva Gopala Bhakta Dasa Raguna Shri Jiva Gopala Bhakta Dasa Raguna Echai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Echai Gosai Kori Charana Bandhan Jai Te Vignana Samishta Puran Jai Te Vignana Samishta Puran Echai Gosai Jar Mui Taradas Echai Gosai Jar Mui Taradas Kasabar Para Renu Mora Panchaga Kasabar Para Renu Mora Panchaga Sada Charana Sevi Bhakta Saniban Sada Charana Sevi Saniban Janame Janame Mo Eambilas Janame Janame Mo Eambilas Echai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilabas Echai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilabas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Bratan Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Bratan Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Bhare Majayaman Shri Guru Vaishnava Bhare Majayaman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhari Ju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Tilak Nehru Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajakacharya Ashtatara Sadashishiman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajakacharya Ashtatara Sadashishiman Srila Bhakti Rakakshidhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivedanta Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Bharga Ki Jai. Namachar Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Premsigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasri Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Vishvavarenya Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupad Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Namadip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Ki Jai. Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshada Shriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Shri Koladvip Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Soquel Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Sevashram Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan Sham Kuna Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Jul Ki Jai. Shri Purushottam Adam Ki Jai. Baladev Subhadra Jagannath Jul Ki Jai. Bhakti Vigna Vinashaya Shri Nishingadev Ki Jai. Bhakta Prabhara Shri Prahlad Maharaj Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavad Ki Jai. Nartam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Vishvavarenya Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupad Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hare Hare Bol.